Secret societies are secret for a reason, right? Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily and today we're counting down our list of the top 10 scary secret societies schools refuse to teach you about. Coming in at number 10 is the Duk Duk. The Duk Duk is the secret society of the Tole people in Papua New Guinea. This ancient secret sect has played an important social role for centuries and continues to operate today, although with a very different focus. Members of the Duk Duk played the role of judge, jury, and executioner, though it is believed that they were possessed by spirits while performing these tasks. Now, during the colonial period, efforts were made to stamp out the Duk Duk. Although this secret society still exists today, it no longer carries out its former function and serves mainly as a tourist attraction. Now, one of the most notable features of the Duk Duk is the two types of ceremonial costumes worn by its members, both of which consist of a cone head and a leafy body. Now, in order to administer justice, members of the Duk Duk would begin by dancing in their costumes. They believed that by doing so, they would be possessed by the spirits of their ancestors. After the dance, shamans would confirm that the dancers were indeed possessed, and the secret society would travel across the island to execute the sentences proclaimed by the chiefs. Now, these sentences sometimes involved the death of the wrongdoer. Nevertheless, as the executioner was in theory possessed, he was not responsible for his actions and need not feel guilty for ending the life of another person. Number 9. The Leopard Society. The Leopard Society thrived mainly in West African nations such as Nigeria and Sierra Leone. Members of this group engaged in ritual human sacrifice and eating people. Dressing up in leopard skin and armed with sharp metal claws and teeth, a member would ambush and maul a victim to death. Afterward, the leopard man collected the victim's blood and used it to make a potion that he believed would give him supernatural powers. Now, following a series of deaths after World War I, colonial authorities in Sierra Leone and Nigeria wrongly thought that they had successfully suppressed the cult. The Leopard Society then popped up again after the Second World War, ending the lives of more than 40 people. Locals refused to provide any information about the cult because they were scared of the leopard men's. Now, only after authorities managed to end the life of a member in 1948 did several witnesses express their willingness to help. That breakthrough allowed authorities to find the cult's hideout, imprison 34 members, and hang another 39. To spread the word that the members were just human, the authorities allowed several local chiefs to view the executions. Number 8. The Bald Knobbers. This secret vigilante group sprang up in response to the rampant crime and lawlessness that plagued southwest Missouri after the Civil War. Led by their founder, a veteran named Nat Kinney, the Bald Knobbers of the Taney Count, so called because they held secret meetings up above bare mountaintops, proceeded to take the law into their own hands. Wearing their coats backwards and sporting odd horn masks, the Bald Knobbers employed such heavy-handed tactics as whipping, beating, and even ending the lives of suspected criminals. Now, eventually some Bald Knobbers went corrupt and began to use their membership to protect their own criminal activities. Now, the group's notoriety peaked in 1887 when they ended the lives of 2 critics and injured their families. Authorities arrested 20 members and executed 4 others. A year later, Kinney, who had already left the group before the shootings, had his life ended by an opponent of the organization. Now, although minor conflicts continued after that, the Bald Knobbers had effectively reached their end by 1889. Number 7. The Bilderberg Group. Now, this group is slightly different than others in that it doesn't have an official membership. It is the name given to a group of highly influential people who meet every year in secrecy with usually strong military and government-sponsored security. Now, the topics discussed are kept secret, so who knows what they say. Attendance at the meeting is strictly by invitation only, and the first meeting took place in 1954 at the Hotel Blindenberg in the Netherlands. Now, the original meeting was initiated by several people. Polish emir and political advisor Joseph Rittinger, concerned about the growth of anti-Americanism in Western Europe, proposed an international conference at which leaders from European countries and the United States would be brought together with the aim of promoting understanding between the cultures of the United States of America and Western Europe. Also, the contents of the meeting are kept secret, and attendees pledge pledged to not divulge in what was discussed. Now, the group's stated justification for its secrecy is that it enables people to speak freely without the need to carefully consider how every word might be interpreted by the mass media. Needless to say, this group is constantly surrounded by controversy and conspiracy theories, and I, like so many others, want to know what they talk about. Number 6. The Illuminati. The Illuminati, which in Latin means the enlightened, refers to various organizations that claim to have links to the Bavarian Illuminati. The Bavarian Illuminati is an Enlightenment-era secret society founded on May 1st, 1776 that opposes superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuses of state power. It is often alleged to conspire and control world affairs by masterminding events and planting agents in the government and corporations to establish a new world order and gain further political power and influence. The group has been depicted as working in the shadows, with references being spotted in novels, movies, television shows, comics, video games, and music videos. Modern conspiracy theorists believe that the Illuminati are the ones that have been pulling the strings in most of the world's major events, including the Battle of Waterloo, the French Revolution, and President John F. Kennedy's assassination. Not to mention all the rumored celebrities who are part of the Illuminati, like Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and Kanye West. Number 5. Ashoka's 9 Unknown Men. Now, this is India's only recorded secret society, and some believe that this was the most powerful society in the world, especially because there were only 9 members in it. King Ashoka of the Maurya dynasty in 270 BC, who had a change of heart after his conquest of Kalinga, formed a secret society of 9 men who would hold the key to everything in this world. Members of the group, who came from different walks of life, were given a topic of speciality. They were given the responsibility to develop, preserve, and prevent the information they found from getting into the hands of people who were capable of misusing it. Introduced to the world by a certain Talbot Mundy, he suggests that these 9 books are not only around in the modern world, but are being constantly updated by the people who could be completely trusted. Now, the first book talks about propaganda and psychological warfare. The second one spoke about physiology and how a human can have their life ended by a simple touch. The third book deals with biotechnology and microbiology. The fourth is on alchemy and transmutation of metals. The fifth one enlightened the reader about communicating with extraterrestrials. The sixth one spoke of the concept of Vinamidika Shastra, or the art of building spaceships or UFOs. The seventh one was about cosmology and the secrets of time travel. The eighth could teach the reader how to control the speed of light and use it for our own advantage. And the final book discussed sociology. It would speak of the evolution of humans, evolution of societies, including their downfall. Now, as you can assume, it is important that these books do not fall into the wrong hands. Number 4. The Hellfire Club. The Hellfire Club in Dublin was built as a hunting lodge where Dublin elites used to gather in the 1700s. Now, the secrecy surrounding the group led to speculation that its members were Satanists and devil worshippers. Now, the president was named the King of Hell and dressed like Satan with horns, wings, and hooves. The members were also said to set a place at each meeting for the devil in hopes that he'd attend. Now, there have been numerous stories about black masses, animals, and even human sacrifice rituals happening at the Hellfire Club. The best known Hellfire Club story is one in which the devil himself appears. According to legend, a stranger joined the club members at a game of cards. Then, when one of the players dropped a card on the floor, he bent down to retrieve it and saw that the stranger had cloven hooves instead of feet. Another popular tale concerns a young farmer who was curious to find out what went on at the club's secretive meetings. He was sneaking around and was invited in by the members and allowed to witness the night's activities. The young man was then found the next morning trembling and terrified, and tradition says he spent the rest of his life unable to speak, unable to even remember his name. Number 3. The Order of 9 Angels. Established in the 60s but getting its public recognition in the 90s, the Order of 9 Angels claimed to be followers of Satanism and came to the attention of the world thanks to their anti-Semitic ideologies and activism. They believe in human sacrifice to eliminate weakness and basically claim they want to conquer the common people. The members see it as a very individual pursuit of excellence by studying what Satan has to offer. Now, according to a recent survey, this group has more female supporters than either the Church of Satan or the Temple of Set, more older supporters, more supporters who came from a better socio-economic background. Number 2. The Secte Rouge. According to Zora Neale Hurston, an African-American author who traveled to Haiti in the 1930s, the Secte Rouge was a secret society that practiced a ritual where they ate other humans and grave robbing. Although she had no first-hand experience with the society, she had 3 indirect encounters with the cult. The first occurred in 1936 when Zora heard an odd beating of drums late one evening. She wanted to go out to investigate, but her housegirl warned her to stay inside, or else they'd risk the cult's wrath. The second time happened when she questioned a man burning rubber tires near her house. The man explained that the tire smoke was to deter the cult members from abducting his son. Finally, she saw military men on a secret operation to suppress an unknown group in a remote area of the island. All this, plus accounts from locals who swore of the group's existence, painted the portrait of a terrifying group that met at night in ceremony and engaged in gruesome rituals, including ambushing travelers for human sacrifices. And coming at number 1 is the Skoptsy. The Skoptsy of Russia is a very strange group. They castrated themselves in belief that it would lead to salvation. Founded in the mid-18th century by 2 peasants, the Skoptsys believed that genitals and breasts appeared only after Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit. Consequently, these organs must be removed to live a perfect life. Now, shortly after the group's founding, authorities arrested the 2 leaders and exiled them to Siberia. One of the leaders managed to escape and traveled to St. Petersburg, where he titled himself the Messiah and claimed to be the reincarnation of Tsar Peter III. His preaching attracted many followers, and it also attracted renewed attention from the authorities, who arrested him repeatedly and finally locked him up in a monastery for good. His incarceration and subsequent death did nothing to dampen the sect's growth. At its height, the Skoptsy were believed to number more than 100,000 people and include members of the Russian elite. Now, following the Communist Revolution, the sect's numbers drastically declined, and today it is estimated that there are just over 100 left, most located in the sect's birthplace. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 scary secret societies schools refuse to teach you about. Which one do you think is the scariest? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.